Hello and welcome back to my channel, or welcome on in. Hi, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Magick and I'm so happy to have you here today. As you can tell, like I always say for the title of this video, it is your full moon in Cancer. Pick a card, okay? The full moon is happening December 26th and the magic circle is actually open. By the time I've already uploaded this video, you can join in for the magic circle. It is $11.11, and there is more specific details down below, so you can read that, and you can just go to my Ko-fi page as well if you would like more information overall about what it means to be a part of the magic circle. And if you would like to join in, it is essentially a group ritual. I do candle magic, I provide a candle report, we do a live reading here on YouTube, and you have to secure your spot through my Ko-fi, okay? And we're focusing in on, this is called divine forgiveness, and I want you to think more about this: forgiving yourself, forgiving past actions, trying to move forward, trying to release a lot of also anger and emotional turmoil, wanting more emotional intelligence. We're using that full moon to clear this out. So it could be a very emotional one because we're also dealing with Cancer, okay? We're dealing with Cancer energy. Now, that doesn't mean, you know, I know people like to say things about, like, especially with Aries and Cancer, they're the crybabies of the zodiac, but this is not necessarily why we're focusing in on emotions for this. This is more about just releasing this. And also, because we deal with Cancer, we're dealing with the Chariot, we're dealing with protection. Think about the shell of a crab, how it keeps them protected, it keeps their home protected. So we are dealing with also, while releasing a lot of this energy, bringing in protection, blessings, showing gratitude for your home, wanting home blessings, inner healing, and also protection from the divine, okay? The divine's watching you. We're giving up that gratitude for this full moon. So it kind of goes full circle, you know, with the moon right there. And yeah, I can't believe I said that. But anyways, if you're interested in that sort of stuff, if you want more information, please go to the description box below, go to my Ko-fi for my shop page, and you can read more information about the magic circle and how to participate, how to do petitions, you know, all that fun stuff that's in the Discord, okay? All right, now to the pick a card. Now, for those of you who know what to do, you already know. I'm going to also have some images if you would like to pick some emojis that I'll have here on screen. If not, you want to pick 1, 2, or 3, you can go right down to the description box and fast forward to your reading, okay? And for those of you who need to use images, you want to connect with an image, the images selected for today are going to be, I'm looking at my phone to make sure I got the emojis correct, a snowflake for pile number 1. For pile number 2, we have a Christmas tree or a Yule tree, just a lit up tree here. And then for pile number 3 is a snowman. Okay? So those are your options. You know, take a deep breath. You don't have to force it. You know, remember, these are general messages, so only take what resonate and leave all that doesn't behind. Don't try to force something to fit your narrative. If it's not meant for you, it's not meant for you. Don't try to force into your story, okay? All right, I will see you in just a moment for your reading. Hello there, pile number 1 are those who chose the snowflake, okay? So let's find out what it is that you need to know for this full moon in Cancer. Let's start shuffling the cards. Let's start asking for guidance from spirit, from the divine, from your spiritual team, what it is that you need to know for this full moon in Cancer. What is lurking? What needs to be brought out into the light of that full moon and cleansed? What do you need to know? All right, we got cards already flying out here. We have the Sun card in reverse, and then we have the Wheel of Fortune upright. You may have been feeling like it's been very hard to expand on things or expand joy and happiness. You may have been feeling like things haven't been on your side and haven't been seeing your successes. We have the 6 of Wands here, and it's kind of giving me all the vibes of like past work that you've done. You're going to be seeing the rewards of that very soon. But it's work that you've done in the past that maybe you haven't seen progress on, and that you're actually more successful than you think you are. You're being very harsh with yourself with that Sun card being in reverse. It's also a bit of a warning, like don't work yourself already, like, you know, for it to burn out. There's always that caution. We have, yeah, we have the Five of Pentacles sitting underneath that Sun card, and we have the Page of Wands. We're getting a lot of fire coming into this right here. That Sun card, that Wheel of Fortune, well, not the Wheel, well, yeah, the Wheel of Fortune is associated with Jupiter energy, which rules over Sagittarius and Pisces. And the Wands card right there. So we've got the Page of Wands bringing in the Keeper of Fire right there, that Page of Wands energy. We have the Death card, some Scorpio energy. We have the Hermit card in reverse, some Virgo energy. We're getting a lot of major arcana, so this is a lot of outside forces that are working behind the scenes that you may have not been able, like I said, you may have not been able to see the work that's going into things. Then we have the Six of Swords, and then we have the Seven of Swords popping in here in reverse. Okay, and then our crowning card here is the King of Pentacles. So we got some Taurus energy, we got some Earth, we got a little bit of water sprinkled in here. So for you, pile number one, we got a lot of stuff going on. Very balanced though, like a lot of things are moving, a lot of moving parts. So this is probably why it could be feeling very overwhelming for you right now. Also because if you feel like you don't see it, that it's not happening. So back to the very beginning, like we're talking about that Sun card, wanting to feel the sunshine, talking about like it being very cold. Some of you have been just wanting some snow, but like pleasant snow, like in a way of like, you know, like you're cozy inside, you don't mind it snowing outside, that type of stuff, but not to be left out in the cold. Some of you may have been feeling very, very secluded and not getting a lot of help, feeling like you're very alone right now. That's why you're not finding a lot of joy in a lot of things, not a lot of happiness, not a lot of opportunities to be saying yes. So we need to bring that sort of energy for a close. We need to bring that for closure. We need to say goodbye to that sort of stagnant energy. We need things to get back to flowing. Things have been working out for you though, like things have been working around, like time will tell, and it's like things are going to keep going, things are going to keep expanding where we need it to be, where you need those victories to be. You may have not been able like to see those victories, but they're coming up. And then like I said, we have the Page of Wands, someone who's very inquiring, someone who's very like, they're interested to know where they should be pointing their energy into. There's a lot of potential here. They're taking the lead, they're taking the charge and the knowledge here. Because like if you think about this, this is Leo energy, Aries energy, Sagittarius energy, all with the potential to which direction you want to go into. Where do you want to pour that energy? Do you want things to be more urgent, more fast, like how fire signs overall are? But are you more inquiry like Sagittarius energy? Do you want your knowledge to expand? Do you want truth to expand? Or it's more of like Leo, you want to have that sunlight on you. You want more people like looking up to you, more acknowledgement for your work. Or Aries, you want to take action. You want the plans. You want things to go. You want, you know, you want to have that headstrongness that also we're thinking like the Emperor right there. Like we're thinking of big things, making big moves. So that's all that potential, and it's just waiting for the right time to initiate this. This also makes me think of Mercury. I think right now Mercury is in retrograde right now, so sometimes it's very beneficial to let things settle as they are, not to take initiative on brand new ideas. It's only ideas that you've already have thought of, you know, things that you've already started the progress for. But with this energy, I know Mercury will be moving into Sagittarius, so that might be more something to allot to time to like wait for that. I can't remember the date offhand. If you just check like an astrology thing, it'll bring it up. I would have to check my calendars, but keep that in mind for then things to start moving on. But this is like a challenge for you. The Six of Swords is learning to move on, learning to move forward, and that's why we see the Seven of Swords kind of sitting back there. It's in reverse. It's like needing to start letting go of these ideas that aren't beneficial for you, these, I want to just say like negative thoughts, but sometimes it's just part of being human. You can't control these aspects of yourself. You can't bring death to this, you know, like very easily. It's something that's an ongoing, like we see that circle. Things are just kind of going into this circle. But there are bad habits that you can just cut out of your life. These are bad habits of self-sabotaging ways. This is bad habits of always thinking negatively or always thinking nothing's working out for you. And even when spirit's like, hey, but you know, we're trying to push you, we're trying to guide your actions to something new, we're trying to move you more out of the mental realm of always overthinking things and always planning things to be more of like you're gonna start taking action. Because when we have that Virgo energy, Virgo is that planner energy, that hermit energy of like you're always working on plans but you're never taking actions on those plans. Spirit's like, for this full moon, we're going to stop with that planning. We're going to start doing actions into things, okay? We're going to start moving forward. You're going to start leaving some things behind because you cannot perfect them any longer. You're going to perfect them as you keep moving, as you keep going. And you might be sitting there and be like, well, I want it to be perfect. Like, I don't want anyone to see it that it's not, perfect, which is like that page, that childish aspect of like, you want it to be perfect before anyone else does. And if you don't, you're just not going to move. You're just like, you can't make me, I'm not going to do it. We're putting an end to that type of mindset, and it's not going to be perfect, and that's okay. That's okay. We're going to keep going with this. Now, our crowning card is that King of Pentacles, because this is something that you're trying to build and trying to grow into reality. Like, this isn't just being stuck. Okay, no, I want to put it this way. It's being stuck in the mental realm that you're having issues creating actions that can then manifest this into the real world. Like something it's tangible. So if you're trying to create a business, you're trying to make money, you're trying to get an advancement or, move up levels in your job, trying to get a raise, a promotion, that sort of stuff. It's hard for you to believe that you deserve that and that you deserve this respect, which then halts your actions from progressing, which then halts your advancement. It's that self-sabotaging way that we're seeing this. So that's why we have to change our thought pattern and also believe that things are working behind the scenes for you, that you may not believe it's going on, but you have to have more faith that it is, okay? All right, we're going to bring in some oracle cards. Give me just a moment to push everything to the side over here. It's a full moon, we have to get some surrender cards in here. We're going to get some more direct actions on what it is that you can surrender. I just heard a car squealing outside. I totally don't think it picked it up, but it just caught me off guard for just a second. Okay, so I had 3 cards come out of there immediately as I was just like shuffling. So the first one we have is surrender to the wonder and awe. Open to the magic of every moment and sense the awe and wonder in all of life. This attitude will keep you connected to the ecstasy of flow. Keyword being flow into here. When we're talking about that sun card right here, like that joy, that happiness, like doing things that bring you joy and happiness, not feeling like you don't deserve those moments because you do. This could also be finding more of like small moments, small blessings, and showing gratitude and thanks for those. Also, like I said, we're talking about flow. Not necessarily positive or negative energy, because it's just energy. It's just sometimes stuck. There's something blocking it. We need to have that flow going into here. And this is why we're talking about forgiveness as like the magic circle theme, is that we're having like to forgive yourself and being like, it wasn't perfect, but you fixed it along the way. You learned from your mistakes. You said your apologies. Is also asking for forgiveness for others and not letting your pride and ego get in the way, okay? But some of you, for that, it is a blockage. For some of you, it is this. It is surrender your fear of intimacy. You're ready to let love in, compassionately identify and begin to release any patterns that stop you from opening your heart. Now, I know they show a couple on this card right here. So of course it can mean intimacy with another person. Maybe you've been feeling, like I said, for some of you, you've been feeling very alone. You've been feeling like you've been pushed out into the cold, and that this could be like a release of a relationship that no longer is that, and has that intimacy, or having to have that open communication. Remember when Mercury being retrograde, there could be some aspects of miscommunication. So it's like clearing that up before you like think the worst. For some of you though, this is intimacy with yourself, with your higher self. This is partnership with yourself and spirit and the divine guides, of making sure that you have more of a feeling of like, I leave an offering. I thank you for your time and your blessings. and feeling that in return, doing those, having to have more discipline in keeping those type of rituals within your routine. Like, replace your bad habits or things that you do, even if it's like doom scrolling, and have those moments for yourself instead, of where you're talking with spirit, you're having those journaling moments, analyzing your dreams, you know, as long as you're trying to leave some of these habits behind. Okay, surrender your fear of change. We have the universe is reminding you that you are cared for always. Whether you're afraid of change in your job, your health, or a relationship, or if you fear aging or death, repeat the affirmation, I have faith that all is well. And we're talking more about the death of the ego, death of something coming to an end, that it's a very high situation in your life. You also might be having fear of your success coming to an end. If you've been feeling very like, for some of you, you're like, well, I have been very successful, or I see some of my successes. You don't see all of them, but you see some big ones in there, and you're fearful of that changing. And sometimes things change for the better for you. Okay, you know, what comes up must come down. If you feel like fate's been on your side, sometimes it's going to feel like fate isn't on your side. You may not understand it. Okay, some things just come to an end because it's time. Let's do a little bit of a roast. A little bit. This is the Audacity deck. We're going to do a little bit of a roast. Don't worry, we will follow it up with something cute. Sometimes this is actually not that much. This is actually not that bad. This one isn't as harsh as it could be. Let's find out what audacity we have. Okay, so one of them, I need to look up what it means. Actually, two of them. One of them I know. The first one we have here is burnt. Was it the burned bridge? This is about, this is definitely ending. This is definitely releasing. This is ending, burning those bridges with people who no longer deserve it. Also, when I think about this with forgiveness and like, you know, fear of change and whatnot, it's more of like you forgive, but you don't forget. You don't want it to be repetitive, but you are keeping track, you know, but you're not allowing it to rule. You're not allowing it to rule your everyday life. You're not allowing it to always be on your mind. It's just like forgive, forgotten, because it's better for you, or it's just more like you forgive but you're never going to forget, because those emotions are very close to you. But for some of you, those emotions are so strong to you, you need to like purge. You need to give space to those emotions and let them flow through you, because they're blocking you. Okay, the slice, the next one is like the slice, and I'm like, maybe just need a slice of pizza. We just need a slice of pizza. But let me grab what this is, because oh my gosh, pizza actually sounds real good right now, I'm not gonna lie. When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's amore. This is like the quote that goes with this. Okay, any way you slice it, you're hooked, you're smitten, you're completely obsessed, you're in it deep with all the toppings. Whatever it is you're fixed on has all your attention. It's stuck to you like gooey cheese, and you deserve it. So this is definitely those energies you're calling to. You want to be stuck to you. I think this is also something like, if you have such a fear of loss, think about what you want to replace that, and literally do like images of it sticking to you, that energy sticking to you, because you can think of it more with alignment, because you're going to align yourself more with that energy. Okay, and then where is this last one? This one is called, which one? The breast pump. But it is the breast pump. Okay, I can only imagine what this one means. Let me show this again. The breast pump right there. And it's like, what is milking you? It says, whether you're quite literally a pumping mother or you have no idea what that even means, the pump symbolizes your output into the world. The pump is the bridge between your energy and how you willingly give of yourself to everyone around you. Not only do you give freely and fully of yourself, you willingly and voluntarily submit yourself to the mechanical torture to do so in a convenient, well-labeled containers and at perfectly spaced out intervals. So this definitely gives me the vibes, especially when it talks about like a bridge, and then we have this card right here, burned bridge, is burning those bridges with people, like relationships that are coming to an end, like partnerships, business partnerships, collaborators, people who are just like, you've had enough. You've done everything you could, you've had enough, and you're cutting those connections now. You're no longer allowing them to take your energy. This could be also related to like an energy vampire type of thing. And then I kind of get that feeling like after all that, you're getting yourself a slice of pizza. Or something indulgent. It doesn't actually have to be pizza, but it could be something very indulgent. It could be something you treat yourself with, like you deserve those small treats, and know that you do deserve it. Okay, you've done some work. You can get a treat, you can get a coffee, get something, whatever you the equivalent of a treat for. Oh my gosh, now I'm really hungry for a pizza. Okay, but anyways, let's bring out, actually, you know what, no, we're gonna use this one. This will be more informative, and we will definitely add a self-care. We might do self-care, or we might do just an affirmation or a nice message. I'm not sure yet. We're just kind of going with the flow here. I didn't really have anything in mind. Flying out. Okay, I'm gonna start with this one because basically, if you take anything out of this reading, let it be the word flow. Your energy is blocked. It needs to flow again. There's a lot of things that could be affecting your energy. A lot of it seems to be like situational in the mental realm. It starts there. It's the way you are thinking about things, the way you're perceiving things about the world around you, like how you feel like things are fighting against you and not flowing with you, or you're fighting the current, you're fighting people, you're just like, I want to just hold up and be by myself, I don't want to like deal with people, and which then leads to like, you've done it so far, you're so secluded that like nobody's there for you because they're trying to contact you, and you're not letting them through anymore, and it's like you're doing it to everyone versus a select few who deserve it. That is like the biggest message here. So we have flow, and it says recovery, moving on, and finding peace. Like that, it's going to happen once you start allowing things to flow. And then we have conjurer, higher self, fertility, and creativity. And so this definitely tells me about flowing. This can also be between you and your higher self. This is you and your spirit team. You may be not feeling like you're very connected. Talked about that a little bit beforehand, and it's just like, you know what, maybe you have to leave an offering out for pizza, okay? Or sometimes some spirits you're just not meant to work with. Some of you may be having to find a whole new divine spiritual team to work with. If you just don't work with, like, if you don't say spirit or an angel, maybe you need to find a new team to work with and stop trying to force something that isn't there. Okay, and then we have meadow, success, blessings, and positivity. Okay, and I don't want to talk about it in a sense of like, I'm not encouraging toxic positivity where we just ignore anything that's negative in your life, and like try to invalidate, like if things are changing and it makes you fearful and it gives you a lot of anxiety, I get it. I totally get it. And I think that's a normal reaction to have. It's just, how long do you allow it to react that way before you're like, okay, I need to slowly take things under control. I gotta look at what I can control, how I can react to things, okay? Do I need more time to like do something, like to take care of myself, and then do a big action here, one big decision, and then take care and like kind of go back and revise a little bit, but then you're making actions, you're making progress. It's just a little slower, but it's okay. We're entering winter season, so it's like it should be a little slower. It should be more of like, you know what, taking your time in certain matters here and not rushing the process. You know, finding blessings in the little things, okay? Finding happiness and joy in the little things, okay? All right. I'm still obsessed with this deck. I can't stop using it. I know I use almost every reading, but I'm not done with it yet. I don't think I ever am. I try to rotate through my decks a lot, and I can only put so many in a reading, especially in a pick a card. So, like, as I don't want this whole video to be so long, otherwise it takes like a little bit longer to like upload and like get to HD settings. But let's find out what's the message you need to hear for this full moon in Cancer, pile number 1. You got this card. No beating yourself up anymore. It doesn't help and you don't deserve it. That is completely on par with this whole reading. This reading definitely has that vibe of like you feel like you don't deserve abundance, prosperity, you don't deserve certain blessings. Kind of like that mindset, if it didn't come out perfect the first time I did it, then I don't deserve any success. And it's like you can't think that way. You do deserve something. You do deserve success, love, and you can't keep beating yourself up for mistakes that you made. Like, hold accountability for yourself, of course, especially when you're dealing with other people. But also hold other people accountable for their actions too, okay? No one should be taking advantage of you. And if you find that out after the fact, you've learned your lesson. You're not going to let it happen again to the best of the best that you can. Sometimes it does happen, but you get a little wiser every time, all right? Okay, thank you so much for being with me today. If you're interested in joining the Magic Circle, please check it out. Please give this video a thumbs up if you did enjoy your reading. Drop me a comment of what you're doing. If you're watching any movies, any holiday movies, anything like that, any fun plans. And I will see you when I see you. Bye. Hello there, pile number 2, and welcome to your reading. All right, that means you picked the tree, okay? The pretty tree. Let me start shuffling already for your cards to find out what it is that you need to know for this full moon in Cancer. What does Spirit want you to know? What does your divine spiritual team, is what I meant to say the first time, want you to know? Okay, got some really good shuffles in here. Let me get closer. Find out what it is that you need to know. Okay, first up, we have the Fool. That's a really great sign here. 2 of Pentacles is our challenge, and then we have the King of Wands in reverse. So the Fool brings us a little bit of, it is ruled by Uranus, say that without giggling, and which is Aquarius type of energy, but it is that rebel. It is like, I want to say, it's not like acting foolish. It's not. It's actually opposing that. It's like not taking things super seriously though, and like just trying to go with the flow with things. Then after that, we have the Queen of Cups popping in here. We got some Cancer energy. The King of Wands brought us some Leo energy, and then we have the Emperor bringing in some Aries energy. Okay, so we're getting some cardinal signs in here, mixed in with a little bit of some fixed signs. Oh, don't fall. Caught it. Oh my gosh. Ace of Pentacles. Money on the mind, pile number 2. We may be lacking some confidence, though, some discipline. Then we have the 4 of Wands. Okay, things are coming a little bit clear, which isn't necessarily a shock for this holiday season. Got another Queen, the Queen of Swords, some Libra energy in here. Got you, got you, got you. Now, remember, we're talking about this full moon in Cancer. It could be emotional. It could be very emotional, emotionally draining about things. We also have a 10 of Pentacles here, and as our crowning card we have another 10. It is the 10 of Swords. Okay, it is in reverse though, so keep that noted. We'll touch back on that in just a moment. Let's go through your other cards. Let's put the story together. So we've got that starting off again with that Fool card. Maybe feeling very foolish, feeling very much like a novice, but you're gonna do it anyways. You're gonna take action, you're gonna try into it. You want to start something new. This could be something new with your intuition, trying to start something more psychic or making like potions and elixirs, wanting to create something beautiful, a new creative project that you're not really necessarily sure how you're going to pull it off, but you're going to try it anyways. However, you might be more of a party mind. This is what I was kind of talking about before, where this is not very surprising for this, that when this reading is happening, going out, a lot of people are preparing for some celebrations, you're preparing for some holiday cheer, you're preparing just to hang out with this small select few of people, and just being able to relax, celebrate, and kind of like, this is also giving me like New Year's vibes, you know, like drinking. For some people, drinking responsibly, drinking, you know, going out for a party but celebrating, like, thank goodness, like it's a small celebration in a way, but it's still like a celebration. It's having some fun. But a challenge is that Two of Pentacles energy is balancing, you know, fun and work, because that Emperor is chilling right there. He's looking, he's very stern, he's just like, you sure you want to be doing that? He's just like, you know, like, have fun, but you got to make sure your work is done first. And this can be very challenging. A lot of people don't like to work between now and New Year's, you know, it's the holidays, it's, you know, just wanting to take it kind of easy. And I think that has, you know, you're going to know your job better than I can with this type of general reading going on, but this is definitely much more of like, it's going to be challenging getting like, discipline into there, willpower into there, because that's why the Queen of Swords is also chilling in here in the challenging position. She's very much so like mind over emotions. Like, you need to train your emotions better. I know you want to do that, but you can't just go and do that. You need to be able to make sure your other stuff is in order. Be responsible. It's kind of like that type of mindset in there. It is a bit of a challenge. So, because then we have the King of Wands coming in here, and I said he was in reverse, so this is like self-doubting your capabilities. This is self-doubting that you're going to be able to, you know, raise the spirits, like, you know, raise your own spirit and being like, you know, oh, I'm so happy, I'm so cheerful and whatnot. You could be having a lot of doubt with this, because it's like you also want to have that little bit of like, you want to know that you're good at what you're going to do, you know, that you're good at what you want to release and then bring in, with that Fool card being there. But we have this, the Ace of Pentacles. I kind of get this feeling like there's just also going to be like something that's going to be given to you, which again, with the holidays, there's a lot of gift giving going on. So this could be very, very general. I'm like being completely honest with you there, because it is like giving a gift. But this, if we're thinking about this more in either a material or like an idea that can be, has a lot of potential to manifest in the real world, it's like taking creativity and giving it structure and order, and that's where the challenge comes in for you, because it's going to be hard for you to release that creativity mindset of like just doing it however, and not giving it structure, not giving it a foundation, giving it the proper elements for growth. Because remember, when we start like building these seeds up, it's like they need water, they need sunlight, like there's rules to get it to grow, you know. We can't just like do nothing. You can start with just like trying it out and testing it, but if you want it to go further, you can't just leave it up to faith, you know. You've got to put in the work. Sorry, I just realized this other light over here is flashing on my face because I'm actually recording this a little bit later than I normally would like. So there we go. And then we have the 10 of Pentacles. Now this is community. This is bringing in community. This is bringing in ancestors. And we jump from like an ace to a 10. So this is just like, you know, this opportunity has great potential. But this is also about not just money matters and whatnot. This is about also like releasing. Because remember, we're dealing with a full moon. We like to release things. We want new beginnings. And this comes from like the 10 of Swords is very strongly indicating an end is coming. And it will be like, thank goodness, like we're finally getting closure. And I know it's in reverse, so it can mean like the swords are finally coming out. We're seeing the sunlight. We're seeing like finally we're being able to finally breathe because the swords are being removed. Whew. But yes, for this 10 of Pentacles, like I said, this is community, this is ancestors, this is maybe needing to leave an offering for them, light a candle for them. I'm hearing that because also I'm seeing with that King of Wands, lighting a candle for them, leaving a cup of water out for them to remember them by, okay? Let me take a quick peek. And we've got Wands, Swords, Pentacles. We have the Queen of Cups, but we don't have a lot of cups here. Other than that, but then we only have one sword. Oh, we got two swords technically. Two swords, three pentacles, two wands. So it's an overall very balanced reading, because we're not like missing like a whole suit or anything like that. I just wanted to double check that. And as for major arcana, we only have two. We've got the Fool and we got the Emperor. So it's definitely like a challenge is having like getting control over responsibilities. Like it's a great thing just to start off and like having having faith in yourself, having faith in the universe. Like that's a great way to like to get things kind of going and kind of like feel your way through it and like not like being very unfair to yourself. But if you want that to be something that is like a routine or it's established in your life, or you want to see where it can take you, it needs discipline. You also need balance, okay? You need balance between, you know, work and play. You can't let one completely take over. Especially it's like if you want to make sure like you're using your days, you may have to plan it out. You might have to plan out when you're going to be having fun, so you know when you have to put in the work, okay? Surrender cards. Let's bring out some oracles and let's find out exactly what it is that you need to surrender. Okay, take a little sippy of water. Okay. There's probably a bit of stubborn energy in here, as I'm looking like as the Queen of Swords with the Emperor right there. A bit of stubborn energy of the way you think and the way you think the foundation should be. Like it's just not going to work the way you want it because it does, you know, that it does. You maybe need to look for community, somewhere you can join so you can like, this is also like, it's kind of like taking like a business class. That's what it feels like. It's like taking a business class, learning about business for some of you out there, because you may be not feeling confident about business or money matters, and finding a mentor has been very, very hard. And definitely with that Libra energy, like a lawyer or what are they called, an accountant, has been very hard, or you're not sure if you need it yet. Like that's the kind of like the vibe I'm getting. Like you're not sure if you need it yet. You know, it's also like giving me accounting vibes, because you got balancing the money. You also need to be wary of the money you're putting out, especially towards creativity and towards like these fun ideas and stuff you want to do, to make sure you're not spending all of your money either. Like the money has to come from somewhere. We need to make sure that flow of money is going and going where it needs to go and not overspending. But I'm definitely getting the vibes of money management. There may not be a lot of confidence there, a lot of confidence with your money management. You may be needing to do more research and learn more about that and get professional help, you know, if needed. Okay, what do you need to serve? First up we have is surrender to the magic of who you are. We all have magic in us, even in the mundane aspect of life. Remember that you are a magical being with the uniqueness and worth that comes from just being you. We're just talking about that with the maybe lack of confidence in the King of Wands, you know, not believing in your own magic and believing, it's like kind of like You wanted to start something that you can like touch and grow, and like you want your magic to be very hands-on, but you have like lack of belief into it. And it's like you need to start small before you can see the growth, because we're dealing definitely with pentacles. Not only are we dealing with things in the real world, we're dealing with things that take time. They're going to take time to grow. Okay, next up is surrendering frustration. Frustration doesn't open any doors. The key to resolving a dilemma or dissolving a block is to take a breath, center yourself, and regroup so you may approach the situation more calmly. This is giving me, okay. Giving me that vibe from that Four of Wands. Then we have the Queen of Swords being a challenge. You may be dealing with someone when you go to this party or celebration over the holidays, because like we have that community card and the family card right here, you know, like holiday celebrations. They may have Libra placements or like communicate like a Mercury in Libra, potentially. Like I know it's hard to like know anyone's charts, but if you know like Libras, that would be like the biggest hint to give. But someone who may be frustrating you during this holiday season, very stuck up, maybe is very aesthetically like wants everything to look perfect, and someone who's cold and cuts with their words. It's not passive like in their body language, like passive aggressiveness in there. They know where to cut by talking. They like to attack you mentally as well. So be wary of that and look to a better like community and group of people that you'd rather be with and spend your time with, you know, versus putting yourself, I know sometimes it's very hard too. It's very hard to be like, I can't, like you cannot go and hang out with your family. They're going to be there, but just be wary of that frustration you may be feeling and know that it's temporary, okay? And then we have surrender to the beauty of the natural world. Take a relaxing break and spend time in nature. Replenish yourself by feeling the beauty and ecstasy there. And I know for some of us it's too cold to be outside, but this could just be, you know, celebrating nature within your home, like even through technology, like putting in like an ASMR video of like the woods, of rain pouring down, you know, like something that helps you like ease those frustrations, just like a moment of like meditation with that sort of ASMR going on, but anything that you can do to take a relaxing break, okay? All right, we're gonna use the Audacity deck. We're gonna find out where we have the Audacity. This card jumped out, and it was the same card from pile number one, or pile number one. And now that card makes me giggle. No, and that card hit the floor. Hold on. Okay. So this is the card that pile number one also got, which is partially on theme for this full moon in Cancer. The burned bridge. Also, because we're dealing with that frustration, like that person that's bringing you a lot of frustration. Burning that bridge. Maybe some of you want to burn that bridge with that person. Like you're going to find your own community. You're going to find your own place where you're going to do your own traditions. Because a lot of this too is traditions and eating a home cooked meal. It's like bringing your own plate though, and like building your own plate at the table. But for some of you, this might be like the sign where you're going to burn those bridges with people that are always nitpicking, that are always irritating, that are always frustration. If you're going to put that space because it's for your own benefit, or you're going to open up about your boundaries. Because that's another thing too, in your favor with the Queen of Swords, she's about setting those boundaries, especially if someone is using like their authority and power over you and is disrupting your balance. They're trying to pour things or push things into a certain way because they feel like that's the way it should go, and you're putting your boundaries up and saying, no, you're not pushing me to do that. This is the card that made me giggle because it says the taco, and it's just funny because pile number 1 got pizza, and now I'm getting the taco, and I am very hungry. I am very hungry, and I have no idea what it means, so I have to look it up in the guidebook to find out what taco means besides hunger. 1 second. Oh shit, I was 1 page away. Okay, not all things that fall apart are broken. You may be stuck in a mess, but this isn't the end. Scoop up the pieces and remember that your routine doesn't define you. You can always change direction. You are a work of art. Eat up. I love that. I think that fits this reading perfectly. And then we have the tea, which I just had tea recently, but I'm more of a coffee person. I will take coffee over tea almost depending on the type of coffee, but almost every single time. But let's read what the tea means. You've been soaking in the bitter tannin for so long, it's time to let go. Whatever is that marinating in your soul is no longer needed. This card is for release, sharing your burden with others, and moving on. Definitely this can be related for this community card, like having a cup of tea or maybe hot cocoa or coffee, you know, something like that, or just drinking some water with a group of people that are in the same boat as you. Like they understand it, they know what you're going through, and you're able to frustrate with them. Sometimes, especially if you are dealing with a family member, the best people to talk over who know exactly what you mean are other family members. They're just like, yeah, no, we get it. And sometimes that just makes you feel better. So a lot of key elements for your reading so far, what you want to release for this full moon in Cancer is definitely, this is erring on the side of like allowing your creativity the space it needs to grow, but requiring some discipline. We don't want one side of your life to take over the other. It's being really overindulgent in like the world of fantasy where you're losing your grounding. You need to get grounded back. And sometimes family can ground you, and we're not talking about the condescending or someone who's nitpicking or someone who's just always like bringing you down, that sort of stuff. Like you might want finding community and starting your own tradition. Maybe releasing people, like relations in that way. One more card. One more card. Yes? No? Yes. First up we have is the Sorcerer. This says ambition, willpower, and creation. This is definitely giving me that first vibe of like, you know, for you, this is that willpower to create, taking that initiative, just lacking the discipline and willpower, needing that because that can help you create more further along. Next up is Trinity. And it is balancing decisions, priorities, and adapting to change. This is definitely giving me that vibes of like when it's like surrendering frustration, you know, like things are going to change and that's okay. We're going to adapt. We're going to change with it. I was saying before, this is kind of giving me kind of some stubborn energy. Like it's very hard to change or to pivot for you, you know, especially if you're like feeling like this way is very successful. It's going to be very hard, but sometimes it might be forced. So you want to have control of that. You want to know when you're going to pivot. You know, you're going to adapt to that change and you're going to have to make that choice and that decision. Especially if you're going to be given the choice of someone who's holding authority and power, if you're going to put up those boundaries or not. You know, like that is your choice to make. And then we have Warrior right here, giving us like the Strength card from the tarot. We have inner strength, clarity, and presence. Definitely give me those vibes. But yes, inner strength, inner healing, clarity, seeking clarity. With this spread, with this full moon, it should hopefully give you some clarity into your situation, hopefully protection as well. You may be wanting to do some protection, get something that makes you like you can wear that it feels very protective for you, like charge it underneath that full moon, because that Cancer energy is very protective. We're thinking the Chariot, we're thinking of when we're thinking the chariot, like with the chariots, and it's protecting their home as they're on the go. We're thinking of the shell of the crab, you know, protecting them as they're on the go. Excuse me. Okay. Let us do a message you need to know from Spirit using one of my favorite decks ever. That I try my best to try to rotate through a lot of my oracle decks, my tarot decks included. But this one has, ever since I had it, I don't think I've ever stopped using it, the Therapet one. Okay, what do you need to know? You have, hey, you matter. Thanks for existing. That's a message you needed to hear right now is, hey, you matter. Thanks for existing. Especially if you've been not feeling very magical lately. You do. You are magic, okay? All right, thank you so much for being here with me. I truly do appreciate it. If you are interested in the Magic Circle, all that information is down below. I would love to have you there. Otherwise, I hope you have a wonderful full moon experience. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you're doing in the comments for the full moon or for the holidays. If you're watching any special movies, anything planned like that. And I think that's about really, that's it for now. That's all I got for you. You know the drill. Like the video, subscribe if you like this sort of stuff. And I will see you when I see you. Bye. Hello there, pile number 3 are those who picked the snowman. Okay, let me start shuffling the cards for your reading today. What it is that you need to know for this full moon in Cancer. Things that you need to release. What are you trying to bring in to replace what it is that you're releasing? What do you need to know for this full moon in Cancer? Pile number 3, what do you need to know from your spirit guides, your divine spiritual team, from the universe? What is it that you need to know? Okay. First up we have is the 10 of Cups. Very interesting here. Happy endings, wanting a good conclusion. Not too far off because it's like we're getting towards the end of the year here. So it's like you want to wrap things up. You want to have a good time with your family. But we may be having an issue with the foundation or keeping things very solid, keeping on your feet about this. You can't just wish for it. You got to put the work in. We have that 4 of Pentacles right there. And then as an invitation, we have the King of Swords. We got a bit of Aquarius vibes coming into here. Okay, so this might be dealing with communication, having clear communication. Also with that airy sign of Aquarius and like it being the King of Swords and how it's like sitting right here, like opposing in a way, like the challenge of the 4 of Pentacles. It's more of like you see that his feet is still grounded, like he's the Lord of the Sky, like he knows the realm of the mental realm and knows how to think creatively or using logic, like he knows this, but he's also knows how to keep his feet on the ground. He knows a card just decided to also go to the ground. So we have the Ace of Cups. Give me 1 second here. Oh my gosh, I'm about to roll on it. As a challenge, you have the King of Pentacles, which is sitting right underneath that 4 of Pentacles. So like this isn't too surprising. I just got the words in my mind, and put your money where your mouth is. You talk a big game. You're very like secure in the way that you're thinking. It's very hard for people to change your mind. To change your mind, it's having a lot of issues. Like no one could change your mind about things, but you're not. It's hard for you to like get things grounded. So we had the Ace of Cups, the King of Pentacles, and then we have the World card. So the World card brings us all these fixed signs. You have Aquarius in this card, Scorpio, Leo, and Taurus. And like the King of Pentacles brings us Taurus energy. Then we got the Page of Wands bringing us the Keeper of Fire. And then we have the Hanged Man bringing in some Neptune / Pisces energy. And then we have the King of Cups coming into here. we've got a lot of court cards, and then we have on the bottom the Hierophant. So we got the Hierophant bringing in some more Taurus energy. Okay, so with that in mind, there's a little bit, well, that's earth energy, but pentacles, there is 2 pentacles, 1, 2, 3 cups, 1 wands, 1 sword. So like a little bit more of the pentacles going on in here, but not too much, okay? Just a little bit. You always try to see like what suits are missing, because that could be like it's not important right now. It's not the main focus because there's not a lot there, or it could be like there's suspiciously not a lot there. So always try to look at that and see if there's also one element that is like overwhelming your reading, but we don't really see that in here at all. So what I'm seeing from here is like the happy family with that Ace of Cups. It kind of like starts with also refilling your own cup and making sure that you're following your intuition. Like happiness doesn't happen overnight, and also this is like very much so like this is also like a past card. Like things may not hold true to what you've had as happiness in the past. That might look like something different. This might be dealing with children. This might be dealing with a new idea that you don't know where to direct it right now, because there's so much water pouring into this. Like above it, it's kind of putting out the flames. Like intuitively, instinctually, or like trusting your gut isn't really helping you, because you don't know where to point that direction with that Page of Wands. Maybe feeling very foolish that you don't know where to begin, and it's like you need to find a mentor in all of this. This is also because we need to rely on information that's being passed down. This is a lot relating also because we have like we've got 3 figures in here. Who is the teacher and who are the students? Excuse me. And in here we have one card, one person who happens to be the Taurus card, that King of Pentacles. This is telling me you are having challenges finding a mentor to listen to, possibly in the realm of the mental realm of finding some new way of perceiving things and being more adaptable and feeling very strong in your values of how you think about things too. Like it's good to be adaptable when new information is being provided to you, right? That World card, things are concluding, you're finding information and then you're going with it, because that's Saturn energy. That brings us a little bit more of Capricorn vibes into here, right? A little bit of Aquarius vibes too. And then we have the King of Cups. What's ruling over both, like your mind or your heart, you know? And it's like that King of Pentacles wants to marry them to be, and I say marry because I was thinking like the Hierophant is also could be like a symbol of marriage and whatnot, but like merge them to where they can work very cohesively with each other. So with the Hanged Man though, and that 4 of Pentacles, what you are releasing is something that you're willing to sacrifice. What are you willing to let go? What are you willing to let free in that sense, so that your heart and your mind could be more cohesive together? What train of thought are you able to release? Something that makes, this is also giving me also like a little bit of inner child vibes because it's in reverse. Something that you maybe wanted to do as a child that brings you happy memories. Like you can't live in the past, but you can revive pieces of it, you know, to help bring that love and that feeling like that happiness. And I'm also thinking like protection, because we have like that boundary of the world right there. You may be feeling very insecure in certain things. And like that's what the Taurus and the King of Pentacles can bring you, security, because this is also abundance and prosperity and just feeling very safe, feeling very, very much more like a community driven card. It's very much like this King is looking out for their community, and they know the best way to do that is to make sure that their heart and their mind are working together, okay? That they're able to work together. They're not constantly at war with each other. That's when we're talking about intuition with that Ace of Cups, and like it's hard for you to trust your gut feelings. It's hard for you, you know, like just to go with the flow with certain things, so especially if you're trying to reason it out all the time, but your heart is telling you, like, it has the intelligence, it has its own form of intelligence, it just needs different interpretation. Okay, it needs a different form of interpretation. It's not, you know, using words. It's more of like the feelings and emotions, being able to read people, read what they want. You know that before anybody else does, you know, like you're able to do that. And it's being able to use those for you, because this King of Pentacles is sitting at the heart of the matter. This is bringing Taurus energy. This is Venus energy, then Venus ruling over Taurus. It's beauty and love and giving yourself grace and being very authentic to yourself as well. I know we talked about the King of Swords like not having like a bias, like, or no, sorry, excuse me, being very set in their ways. You know, the sword only being on one side there, it's very hard to get them to be very fair about things because they're very set in what they know. But that's having authority, that's being very comfortable in your mental realm, that's knowing that no one can push you out from there the way that you're seeing it, that people don't leave you feeling very insecure into it. But it's also having that power of adaptability with that King of Cups being in here, being one with your emotions, that deepness in there, being able to let them have that moment out of you, you know, being able to allow them that space. Okay, we're going to bring in some surrender cards, a crowd favorite, because surrender cards are very good for full moons, because that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to surrender and release so you can cultivate something new into here. For some of you, that's cultivating some protection. For some of you, that's like needing to sacrifice something so that you can have that moment of enlightenment. You know, for some of you, you just want a mentor. You want a mentor to help guide you, a spiritual mentor. But this is information being passed down. This is research. This is going to be from a book. This is going to be from like a word of mouth and stuff, something that you connect with. This is not going to be initially something that is very like intuitive, like you just know it, you know, like there's elements of you with that King of Cups that you do know, that deep waters, that Scorpio vibes coming into there, but there's also other elements that you need to be taught, that you need to learn. This is just skill set that you need to learn. Okay, we have these three right here. Put this aside. First up, we have is surrender your fear of change. The universe is reminding you that you are cared for always, whether you're afraid of change in your job, your health, or relationship, or if you fear aging or death. Repeat the affirmation, I have faith that all is well. Like I said, that stubborn energy of we have like 3 fixed signs in here, and having a lot of fixed signs could be very indicating of like when things start changing, it's like your world is about to change and you just don't like it. You just do not like it. You like things just being consistent. And it's like some things are great when they're consistent, but everything has to change at some point. Nothing's always going to stay the same. And so this is about learning what it is that you can start letting go of, what you can start letting these fears go, and know that, you know, this is about you gaining authority and power once you release these fears. We have surrender denial, which is accept people and situations exactly as they are without denying the difficulties. Then you can see things clearly and make the best decisions. This is giving me the hanged man vibes right here. To get that enlightenment is because some things are just difficult and you can't make it easy just trying. It's like it giving me like the vibes of like toxic positivity, like if I just ignore the negative and I focus on just the positive, I'll be okay. And it's like, you know, that's not true. You know, that's not how it works, right? So, you know, you want to make the best decisions and everything that you clearly can do, and that's also making sure that you're giving moments to your head and your heart so that you can make the best decisions that you can. Because we also have surrender to miracles. We got a full moon in the background of that one, and it says be open to miracles occurring in your life. Feel and know these events are real. Let go of any resistance and banish any doubt that miracles can happen. This is you believing in that, because like we said, we have the world. This is a big conclusion. This is like rounding out the year. This is like you've learned a lot of lessons, and you know, you've learned to have to let certain things go. Like, what do you have to sacrifice because you want that security, but you also know being too strict is not what's going to get you what you wish for. Okay, you need that flexibility. Okay, this might help. This is the Audacity deck, so let's find out. I don't know exactly what all the cards mean, so I have to use the guidebook depending on what cards come out. Let's see if it follows the theme of the first 2 piles. There was like pizza for pile number 1 and tacos for number 2. I'm like, I am so hungry. I was not hungry when I started this. I am starving now. Okay. These 3. This one, I want to be, we'll do that one last because I have to look that one up because that one I haven't seen before. Maybe I've seen before. I just don't know what it means exactly by it. I have a funny feeling about it though. Okay. The first one we have is the breast pump, which this is about giving like pieces of your life. You do it strategically. This is like a set routine, but it's about other people. Excuse me. This is about other people like taking from you. Like they're taking nourishment from you and you're not refilling your own cup. You're not nourishing yourself, which is leaving you very, very drained, but you're willing to do these type of sacrifices for other people. But what are you willing to sacrifice for yourself to be more authentic for yourself, right? And then we have perseverance, which let me just double check with this one before I say it. It looks more of like a like it gives me like the strength card type of vibe, so let me just double check. It says your journey will not be easy or comfortable, but you will come out on the other side if you stay the course. Anything that is worth having or keeping will take discipline, sacrifice, and commitment. If you want it and put in the work, it's yours. Believe it. So this is about like having a lot of self-doubt about whether or not your sacrifices will be worth it and what you're going to be releasing. And it's like, this is sitting around you, that denial card. Like, you're not denying the difficulties of what it will take, but you're willing to do it because you want the changes that are going to happen. Just don't, it's like that fear of like you're about to do it, like, oh no, never mind, I'm just kidding, I'm actually not going to do that. Like, you got scared and you're just going to go back to old habits. And this one is the Zoom meeting, and this just gave me the vibes of like when people, because right now it's the 19th, December 19th, and everyone's like, what do you do from like here to January 1st, you know, like we don't do anything because like this person's just like sitting there in a Zoom meeting call and it's like everything's fine going on in the background, and it's like, what do you do during this time? And it's like, you don't want to do any Zoom meetings. Okay, it says cut the crap. So many unnecessary meetings, routines, and relationships. We go through the motion even while we're on fire. It's okay to say no. Declutter your life without the guilt. And that's perfect. It's also perfectly paired with that breast pump, because it's like telling people no, telling certain people no, no matter how hard it might be. But that's you putting that barrier up, right? That world card. You're putting those boundaries up. Okay. What else do you need to know? That card just flew. There goes that one. There's one more. There we go. Okay, so there's first, second, and third. The first card we have is Conjurer. Higher self, fertility, and creativity. This definitely gives me the vibes of like conjuring your own magic. Then we also have that symmetry, the symbol of, you know, the circle going in here, just like that world card, creating magic between your mind and your heart, you know, working together to have that creativity flow and being also connected to your higher self. Because we also think about this, like the world card is sitting here, and we've got the deep sea ocean into here, and then we have above the King of Swords, someone who's like in the realm of air, who's sending those messages, you know, while we sit in the world here trying to read those messages and interpret it using your intuition, using your psychic abilities. Okay, and then we have Shelter. which is spiritual growth, accountability, and healing. Some of you have to have accountability to your healings. As I was talking about inner child earlier, some of you have some inner child work you need to be doing. Sometimes it is a great time to do shadow work on the full moon, because you're bringing those shadows into light and giving them spotlight, and it's not as harsh as the sun. It's more soothing to be that moonlight, so you can give them their moment that they need. Yeah. Also dealing with the spiritual enlightenment for the hangman. And then we have the hearts. We keep talking about the heart. The heart, it's like, you know what? I'm going to show up here then. This is emotional awakening, intuition, and flowing. Following. Oh my God. Following your heart. I was like, why does it say flowing? I've been just seeing flowing too much in all my readings here. But flowing your heart. Following your heart, and like I said, working with your mind, you know, like sometimes there is no logic or reason to why you feel a certain way. Okay, we're gonna find out the message from the Therapests. I love this deck. I've used it, I think, every single time I've done a reading, especially like a full reading like this. I use it like every single time. I cannot get enough of this deck. I love it so much. We're going to find out what messages you need to hear, the final message from Spirit that you need to hear for this full moon in Cancer. You get a card that's like being in the deep sea. It says, it's okay to float along. It's okay to just be. Definitely give me, obviously, the King of Cup vibes, you know, but it's definitely giving me that, you know, one of the greatest challenges you may have is feeling very secure and being authentic to yourself with that King of Pentacles. But it's okay to float along. It's okay to just be. It's okay to be present in the moment, follow your heart when your mind may not know where to go, and have faith in both elements of yourself, to feel more secure in yourself and the choices that you're making, okay? All right, that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for being here. Please make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Check out the details for the Magic Circle if you feel like joining in for this group ritual. And, you know, drop a comment. Let me know what you're doing. You know, if you're watching any holiday movies, if you have any plans, anything fun like that, or if you have anything that you're going to be doing for the full moon, okay? Maybe because it's the last full moon in the year. All right, thank you so much for being here with me. I truly do appreciate it. You know, do all the fun stuff, the YouTuber stuff, thumbs up, share with a friend, subscribe to the channel, all that good things, and I will see you when I see you. Bye.